Hi there and welcome to the Met Office forecast for the week ahead. A big change this week for the UK's weather as high pressure builds by the end of the week, bringing a return to overnight frosts and widespread settled weather. But for the start of the week, we've still got low pressure in charge. In fact, this low is a very deep feature moving to the north of Iceland on Tuesday morning and swinging a weather front into Scotland and Northern Ireland. A wet night to come here. And as we start off Tuesday, the wet weather is pushing through the south and southwest of Scotland. Could be some issues with a yellow warning in force until lunchtime. And then it's Western England and Wales that see the rain move in during Tuesday morning and early afternoon. Eventually that rain pushes into the rest of northern England as well as the Midlands and central southern England. Ahead of that, some sunshine, 11 degrees, but increasingly breezy. Behind it, we've got some sunny spells returning, also some blustery showers and feeling a little colder in the northwest of Scotland. Now, the front tends to fizzle away as it moves through the southeast of England later Tuesday, so not much rain here. And indeed, it's moving into an area of high pressure which is building from the south. And that's the high that will come to dominate things for the rest of the week and, in fact, potentially beyond. So actually, we start off with plenty of fine weather across the south on Wednesday. Just one or two showers into Wales and the southwest. More frequent showers for northwest England, Scotland and Northern Ireland on a blustery westerly breeze. And those showers falling as sleet and snow over the hills of Scotland. But they'll be interspersed by sunny spells. And by the end of the day, for many parts of certainly England and Wales, it's settled, it's dry, it's sunny, with temperatures around average for the time of year. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Atlantic, a deep area of low pressure is moving through Greenland and then into Iceland. And in the wake of that, we've got this cold plunge over the West Atlantic. That helps to force the jet stream to dive south. And that has a ripple effect around our neck of the woods because it pushes the jet stream to the north of the UK and to the north of the Norwegian Sea, sending all this warm air up into Norway and the Arctic. Meanwhile, that helps to build this very large area of high pressure over the UK itself and keep it in place for some time. So the jet stream becomes very, very amplified, and as a result, we end up with high pressure sitting over us and blocking Atlantic weather. And that means clear skies on Wednesday night will lead to a widespread frost on Thursday morning, with temperatures several degrees below freezing in rural parts. So chilly start, but a bright start. Some freezing fog patches around. They'll be slow to clear where they do occur. But otherwise, you can see up and down the UK, it's sunny skies from Shetland to the Outer Hebrides, Northern Ireland, Wales, the southeast. It's mostly dry and settled. Just some patchy cloud coming into the southeast, and that thickens a bit more by the start of Friday, along with an increased breeze. That will lead to potentially less frosty conditions towards the southeast, but otherwise under clear skies and light winds elsewhere, it's another widespread frost. Again, some freezing fog patches to wake up to on Friday. But we do have a bit more cloud across much of central and southern England, as well as East Wales on Friday. Still some holes in the cloud. Could bring one or two showers into the south coast. Otherwise, for the vast majority, it's another dry, bright, and increasingly cold feeling day. Now, by the end of Friday, we've got this increasingly breezy weather coming in from the east. And the easterlies are the results of high pressure relocating from the UK into Scandinavia. Easterly winds at this time of year are always going to be cold, and indeed through the weekend this particular easterly will be cold enough to give some sleet and snow showers, especially across eastern and southern parts of the UK. But not all easterlies are the same. Not all easterlies can be likened to 2018's beast from the east. And certainly for the time of year, you'd expect even colder air to be upstream of the UK than what we're seeing through the weekend. So this isn't going to be nearly as cold, certainly at first, or as widely disruptive as the beast from the east of 2018, but it will still be cold. And if it continues throughout next week, there's always the possibility that even colder air will arrive, and with the additional risks of wintry weather. And in fact, it does look like this easterly wind will continue throughout much of next week. This is a chart showing the most likely weather patterns each day going out to the next 2 weeks. And what's strongly coming out of this chart is that once we get that high pressure over Scandinavia, which is this colour, it's the dominant weather pattern throughout next week. This colour comes in as an also a possible scenario, and that's high pressure to the north, which should also give us easterly winds. And the Atlantic weather, highlighted by these blue colours, only start to make a reappearance around the middle of February. So it looks likely that we'll start off next week with high pressure to the east of the UK, an east to south easterly wind, and it's going to feel cold with some wintry weather around, but not as cold as it could be. Nevertheless, if that easterly continues throughout next week, there is always the chance of a situation like this, where we get even colder air coming from the east. But it is, of course, way too early to give specifics on all of that. We'll keep you updated right here at the Met Office, and you can find all those updates in our usual channels. Bye-bye.